On behalf of my seller from Mali, Conakry, Guinea, and Sierra Leone, we wish you a Merry Christmas and prosperous New Year. This is Wilhelmina Ford, based in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. I apologize if my voice is very husky. I just recovered from my bronchitis 4 days ago. I'm not supposed to come online because today is holiday. In my head office in Mali, my head office in Conakry, and Sierra Leone, we are celebrating their family bonding during Christmas. However, Wilhelmina is always open. I am the extension online digital call center, meaning to say I am the seller's Monday. And also, I am your business facilitator to secure gold and rough diamond. Now, I know you've been searching for gold since 2018, 2019. Today is December 26, 2019. In 6 days time, we're about to enter into 2020. So, the reason why Wilhelmina is online, may I greet everybody a pleasant good morning. The time here is 11 o'clock in the morning. I just finished having a conference. Buyers already in Mali, buyer already in Conakry, Guinea, and they couldn't get the gold. Before they travel, they were chatting with me. And these buyers are a stubborn buyer. He was been window shopping, until he encountered disaster, and then he come back to Wilhelmina. And one buyer, he is in Conakry, Guinea. He arrived 3 days ago. He's Indian guy, but if I mention his name, believe me, he's gonna be embarrassed. But I will not mention his name. He's Indian guy. He was chatting with me on WhatsApp. I interviewed him. How did you found Wilhelmina? He said on YouTube. Okay. And then what did you learn out of that? I view your Facebook, your gold trade wide. I said, and then did you learn it? And he said, not really. Go back and read. So he is very demanding to bring the gold to him. He's in Conakry, Guinea. I said, no, we don't do that. First of all, we don't know you. And you don't know us. You are buying $1 million here. He's asking me if we could provide him 100 kilos in Conakry, Guinea. I said, yes, we do have gold. But who you are? Who are you? Introduce yourself. I'm going to go his chat. Just bear with me. Okay. He said to me, all right. He is a buyer and he needs 100 kilos. Bring it to Dubai. C.I.F. He arrived in Conakry 3 days ago. And he's been dealing with 3 different sellers. And I told him, you have been dealing with 3 different sellers. How come you come to Wilhelmina? And he said, there's so many fake sellers. I said, no, you're one of the fake buyer. Because in our policy, we don't entertain buyer on the ground. Especially if you come to Wilhelmina. Because I'm going to scrutinize who you are. That is the reason why I put my face online. I put all our full corporate online on the gold trade wide web in order for the buyer to read and relax and take it easy, comprehend properly. From video to F.C.O, I explain it thoroughly but you are not paying attention. That is the reason why you failed. Now this buyer is in Conakry, Guinea, and he said to me, maybe you are fake. I said, no, maybe you are. Because you have been talking to me before you travel. And I told you, do not travel without Walamina. Do not travel without screening. Because I'm going to screen you. Right. And now what happened? He's stranded in Conakry, Guinea. And my boss is in overseas. So the office is closed because it's Christmas. But I know how much available stock we have because I am the extension office based in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. I am the online digital office. My office is portable. You can meet me in Brisbane. You can meet me in coffee club. You can meet me in the city. Discuss business. But it's still the same. If you're gonna meet me face to face, the full corporate offer is already online. So what a waste of time. So what happened? I rejected him and he got angry. So this kind of buyer is very dangerous. Why you gonna get angry when I don't know you? And you're already in Conakry, Guinea. You should be polite. If you want business, you should be polite with this lady in front of you. Because if I mention your name, believe me, you're gonna be embarrassed. Now he said to me, I need 100 kilos. Bring it to Dubai. He's Indian. 100 kilos, I don't believe he can afford it. Our selling price is 43,000 per kilo. 43,000 times 100. This is the price. I don't believe he has 43 million. I don't believe it. Our selling price is 43,000 per kilo, tax inclusive. We don't deal C.I.F. Cost, insurance, and freight. That is normal. You have to pay shipping cost, 1%. That is normal. You have to pay insurance, 1%. That is normal. You have to pay the assay cost, $100 per kilo. Times 100. $100 times 100. You have to prepare that. You have $10,000 in hand. You have to pay that to the local refinery because you are using their facilities. And you are already in Conakry, Guinea, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Indian buyer. And you've been talking to 3 different sellers, and you come to Wilhelmina. I think the seller turned it down because maybe you don't have the $43 million. Every seller knows everyone. If you window shop, you are in Conakry, Guinea, everybody knows you. Because they are a big organization. And the one seller says, oh, I know this guy. Don't deal with this guy. So what happened? You failed. I've been to Conakry, Guinea. I met a lot of foreigners. I am a foreigner. I met one Brazilian there. He was been stuck in Conakry. I even invited him for dinner. And this Indian buyer, he just arrived in Conakry, Guinea. And he said, maybe I'm fake. What the hell is that? This buyer, I start to wonder. This buyer is fake. Why he is fake? He's been roaming around looking for cheap price. So he's a bargainer. He is a cheap buyer. A real buyer would not talk too much like that. Believe me, if you talk to Wilhelmina and your answer is different way and it's not straight way, I start to wonder. Martha, thank you for watching. Belated Merry Christmas. We are now on December 26. At the time here it's 11:15. The war clock is 11:30. So I'm talking to this buyer that I just finished talking. Then another buyer, he is from Abu Dhabi. He said to me, he sent me an email and also his WhatsApp. He said on WhatsApp, Just bear with me. He said, "Dear Wilhelmina, I've been looking gold for 1 year. I couldn't find the real seller except you." And I told him, how did you find Wilhelmina? He said to me, "I found you on YouTube and on Facebook. I've been following you for 1 year." And I asked him, if you've been following for 1 year, why until now you have not found the real seller? So he's a buyer's mandate. And his buyer wanting to get 100 kilos as well. No, 1 ton. The Indian from Mali, he's in Mali, 100 kilos. This buyer in Mali, 1 ton. So 1,000 kilos. So I told him, you read the full corporate offer, take time to read, let your buyer read it, because your buyer will make a decision, not you, because he is a buyer's mandate. He lives in Abu Dhabi. So I told him that our selling price is $43,000, tax inclusive. You are not going to pay taxes at all, because the tax is already on the price. Now the price today, 48,159.65. So the price, it fluctuates every 30 minutes. So in 6 days time, we're about to enter into 2020. There is a prediction that the gold will rise to 1650 per ounce times 32.15. This could be the price, because I was reading the movement of gold current events. So I am sharing you guys in order for you to be alarmed. But you are stubborn. Buyers mandate are stubborn. Buyers are stubborn. They are looking for cheap price. Gold is not cheap. You are buying money to make money. So how could you make money if you don't have the money? How could you make money if you're asking for C.I.F? Cost, insurance, and freight. That is normal. You pay the shipping cost, 1%. That is normal. You pay insurance. But how are you able to pay the gold? Gold is money. You cannot just take the gold without any export documentations in your name that you have paid the gold. So therefore, you're gonna pay fair. This Abu Dhabi, his buyer has an account Ferrari. Immediately I know KMR. It's a big refinery. They are also buying and selling. Now there are 3 refineries in Mali: KMR, Marina, and DNGM. 98% of local association, they are very loyal to DNGM because it is a government refinery. So those 2 private, and if you have an account, well, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to help you unless I would be on the ground with you. Now, Mr. Buyer, if you are watching me, how can I help you? There is a secret, Mr. Buyer. I can help you, but I do charge my extra service if I travel to be with you. Because if I'm not around and using KMR, using Marina, you will fail. My seller would turn it down, 100%. But I told my seller in Mali, do not close the door. Open the door to everybody. But this seller in Africa are also stubborn than you do. They are in control of their products. And you are hungry to buy. You are crying because your business would not function if there is no supply. So the seller is in control. So you have to follow the seller's terms and conditions, not your terms and conditions. You take Wilhelmina with you, I will bend my seller's terms and conditions. I will bend it. but my extra service is not for free. You are buying $1 million. Why should I give you free? I already given you free information worth $1 million. But when I travel, it's no longer for free. I am not a babysitter here. I am not an agency here. I am the seller's mandate. I'm the one who will interview you before I'm going to advise my seller to proceed or not to proceed. Simple. If you're really paying attention, reading my online store called Gold World Trade Wide. Everything is online. But if you are not paying attention, to me, you are not really a buyer. Mr. Buyer, I'm sick at the moment. I have a bronchitis, but I still come online in order to explain to you that gold is not for credit at all. Gold is cash. Gold is cash, Mr. Buyer. There are so many buyers are crying for supply. Cash is tactical tools. Gold is cash. Gold has many uses. You have the cash but have no value. Gold has a value. So show me your paper money and we will show you the solid money. You got my point here? Now, another Chinese lady, I feel sorry for her. She's also in Conakry. She traveled by herself, and at the moment, she's sick at the moment. I think she has a malaria. And I told her that I wouldn't be able to help you. And she wants 500 kilos. I told her we have gold in Mali because my seller been in gold business for 20 years. And he has a stock. But my seller is very hard man. Very hard. Sometimes I scolded my seller's assistant because they're also stubborn. That is why I always tell the buyer, do not travel without Walamina, because I can guarantee you, you will fail. 100% guarantee. There is another buyer. He's Indian, and he's been roaming around for 2 years. Believe me, if I mention your name, guys, you're gonna be embarrassed. But I will not mention your name. This guy has been chatting with me on WhatsApp. I told her that I'm sick because I don't have voice. So for this, now this guy is an Indian. He said that he has money in Dubai. Now this guy, he said, means reflection. Explain to me your knowledge about gold. How African people cultivations on gold. I am not here to teach you. I am here to sell. It's up to you to do the research on how you secure the gold. Very clear. I give you the video. I give you the full corporate offer. Still you didn't read. And you've been running around and following me for 2 years. And then you come to me just now. And then you ask silly question. I've given you a stupid answer. And then he said, we are buying tons of gold. Bank guarantee. I said, no, we don't do bank guarantee. The bank will guarantee to see the gold. The gold will not release the money to you, Mr. Buyer. He's an Indian again. He said that he has an office in Dubai, but when I look at it, he's a broker. We don't deal bank guarantee. We don't deal refinery guarantee. Refinery will guarantee to receive it because you are the client of that refinery. But how are you able to guarantee that you are not going to run away from 1 ton of gold? How? So therefore, we will require you your business license. We require you your importation license and the proof of fund, your bank statement that you have money, the value of 1 ton. and your passport copy, and who is going to receive the gold, which refinery, because that 1 ton will be shipped direct to the refinery as a consignee. But this buyer who is Indian, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know. Mr. Buyer, Mr. Broker, I've been to Dubai, you must remember. I meet a lot of Indians. My seller is allergic with Indian. Why? Indians are bargainer. I encounter a lot of Indian. One husband and wife, we provided him seller's mining license, and he did apply for refinery account at Emirates. After he got all the information of my seller, he went to Ghana, and his license, his application to Emirates has been approved. Then another Indian, he just sent me a message. He signed a contract for 2 years ago. Now he come back to me. Colomina, we need gold. And I told him, good luck. He signed a contract for Mali. Then he went to Ghana. Then he was window shopping. And he's stuck in Conakry. Can you imagine that? That kind of buyer is a very dangerous to deal with. Mr. Broker, Mr. Buyer, I just have my transaction. Successful. Go to my gold trade worldwide. I put the sale for 2019. If you understand, I believe you're a buyer. If you don't understand, I don't believe you're a buyer. Now, there was a guy, he's from Melbourne. His name is Ricardo. Ricardo, you're asking me if I'm a Filipino. Yes. I was born in the Philippines. Yes. Filipino ako. Ricardo is from Philippines and he's based in Melbourne, Victoria. He was on my live, but I was cut off because of my network. He was asking me, are you a Filipina? Yes, I was born in the Philippines, correct. But I am Australian. I'm based in Brisbane. I am the Extension Digital online office. My seller hired Wilhelmina to handle the marketing. Whoever you are, if you don't like my guts, I'm sorry guys, I am not here to teach everyone. I put everything, the full corporate offer, and the transaction successful, and Mali, Conakry, and Sierra Leone, we have gold and rough diamond. We have. But how are you able to pay? That is the biggest question. Our manifest is online. The full corporate is online. The successful transaction online. Wilhelmina online. Wilhelmina's face is in front of you, but you guys, you're hiding your face. And you guys, you're collecting information online, soliciting buyers, and then when your buyer send a letter of intent, you cut and paste. I don't deal cut and paste. I'll tell you my background so that you will know who is this lady. Yes, Wilhelmina is very tough, very arrogant, correct. I done it purposely because you are stubborn. Ricardo, mabuhay ka. Pilipina ako pare. Okay, nagtanong ka sa akin kung Pilipina ako, correct. I was born there. Pero Australian citizen ako. Nandito ako sa Brisbane. Okay. You have a buyer for diamond in Italy. Ganito, Ricardo, ang sasabihin ko sa iyo. Sabihin mo sa buyer mo, tingnan mo yung gold trade worldwide, nandyan ang manifest. Ipakita mo sa kanya, sabihin mo, itong gold, nandito sa online. Si Mrs. Ford ay seller's mandate. Galing ako sa Conakry. Alam ko ang seller ko. Kaya, magbasa ka muna, tingnan mo yung online store ko. Don't rush, because I'm telling you, I will reject you. It doesn't matter if you are my kababayan. This is business. You must remember, Now, I'll give you my background. I used to be in real estate here in Brisbane. And here in Australia, we put everything online, even in Melbourne, Ricardo. You can buy real estate, you go online, pop up the property. I was the one who introduced this. I was the one. Because my seller hired Wilhelmina. I went to Africa. After I went to Africa, I decided to pattern the way we Australian are selling products online. You know, Ricardo, you can buy groceries in Wallis in Melbourne. You can buy properties online. You know that. So if you are wandering around, that is fine. Because we are now on social media. I was the one who put this everything. And I'm very, very strict. Very. People doesn't like Wilhelmina, so be it. I don't care. There's so many people hits my guts. I am not here to be a babysitter because this is $1 million you are buying. I am guiding buyers and seller. 6 months ago, my seller has been scammed of 450 kilos of gold. The buyer was asking C.I.F. and my seller's son fly together to Paris. Until now, the buyer didn't pay the 450 kilos. When I arrived in the head office, the father said, "Thank God, Mrs. Ford, you arrived in Africa." I said, "Why?" "We lost 450 kilos. The buyer sold the gold. The buyer received the money, but the money didn't put into my seller's bank account." You know what I said to my head office? From now on, don't believe on buyer. Buyers are liars. You know what my sellers in Conakry was saying? "Tell the world, Mrs. Ford. Foreigners think that African are a scammer." I said to my seller, in this world there are two kinds of people, good and bad. Wilhelmina can be good, Wilhelmina can be bad as well. So there are two kinds of people in this world. I said to my seller, you know what my seller says? "Tell the world." I said, "Yes, I will." That is the reason why I put everything online. Whether you like it or not, I don't care. Gold will not fade. Gold will not run away. The world is on panic right now. Why? Because there is a prediction that the gold will turn to 1650 in 2020. You must remember, I warn you guys beforehand. Bank now, secure now. But most of you are floating around thinking gold is banana. Even banana, you cannot get that on Wallis. Ricardo, even bananas. You live in Victoria, Melbourne. Banana is at the moment is $3 here in Brisbane. A kilo. If I don't have $3, do you think I'm gonna get banana? If I don't have $2, do you think I can get the loaf of bread? The price of gold today is 48,159.65 a kilo. That is refined with a serial number called gold bullion. You are buying unrefined. You can refine it to many uses. That is why we give a discount. We reduce it to $43,000 per kilo. We don't know what you are going to use. Are you making into the earrings? Are you making into bracelet? Are you refining $1, $2? Or are you making what? 99.99? You can only get 99.99 when you refine the gold. You need the raw material, which is Dore bar. I think I already explained it from video to video. Now going back to Ricardo's request. He has a buyer from Italy, diamond. Ricardo, go to my page, Gold Trade Worldwide. There is a manifest, a picture. Show it to your buyer. Tell your buyer, Is this what you're looking for? Then you come back to Wilhelmina. Because the price of diamond, it varies from carats to carats. It varies. The price from 850 and above. So your buyer has to travel with invitation. We don't send manifest anymore. It's already online. It's very unique. It saves time and my time. You just look at on the picture and manifest. There is a video. There's a manifest. Sierra Leone and Conakry. We have tons of diamond, but how are you able to pay? That is the question. You need to ask your buyer. Okay, Mr. Buyer, I meet my fellow kababayan. But my fellow kababayan is very tough. He has to travel with invitation. And I am charging any buyer to travel with Wilhelmina my travel cost, so that the buyer would not be disappointed. I will refrain using scam. Scam means lie, deceive, manipulate. Both buyers are manipulating each other, but you cannot manipulate when I am in the office. So I hope those buyers mandate can hear my explanation is very, very clear. Okay, if your buyer want to buy cars, show the manifest. Show it. Then add me on WhatsApp. We can talk on WhatsApp because I can help your buyer to negotiate the price. Because I was there in the office. I took the buyer gold and diamond. The buyer has to inspect first. Because we're gonna put the stone on the table. He has to inspect first. He has to bring the diamond taster. Right. And then when he likes it, then we will discuss the price. I will help your buyer to negotiate the price. But our price is from 800. The smallest stone on above is 1,400 to 2,000 above. It depends on the carat. It depends on the quality. So that is the reason why I explain it. So I hope, Ricardo, I give you answer. I give the question. Your question has an answer in front of you. So I'm sorry if my voice is very husky, because I lost my voice 4 days ago. I have a bronchitis. He can send it. Okay. You read it first. Listen to the video. Because if you are really, I know you are well educated. I know that. So don't pretend to be dumb. Be smart. Filipinos are smart. But read it. Digest it properly. Then you come back to Wilhelmina. Because nobody taught me on this. But because I've been in sales for 36 years, I was the one who educate both buyers and seller. You as the buyer's agent, you learn how to educate yourself faster, because I easily get angry when the buyer doesn't pay attention. Because when I was in real estate, my principal never taught me at all. I have my license because in Australia, you know that, Ricardo, you cannot be a real estate agent without a license. Now I retired from my real estate. I focus on gold because I work for the seller. My seller has a mining license. My seller has an export license. So I work for the seller. I'm just an online digital office. I am the one who will interview you and your buyer. Believe me, your kababayan is very, very strict and very tough. So don't be offended with Wilhelmina. Do not. Because this is for everyone. Believe me, you are on the right business. Gold is money. Diamond is a girl's best friend. This is precious item. The reason why I focus this because I've been to Africa. I done my transaction. Very easy if your buyer has money. It would be very hard if your buyer has no money. So go and listen to my video. Go on the gold trade worldwide. question and answers is in front of you. So that is the reason why I easily get annoyed when buyer keep asking question. When I was in the Philippines, I studied at the Philippine Christian University. I'm a social work graduate. My professor is very tough. We have to listen what my professor is telling us. When my professor say any question, then we raise our hand. The same as well, Amina. You don't ask question, you read, listen, pay attention, digest it. Then if you still confused, come on WhatsApp. I will give you the answer. Even here in real estate in Brisbane, I don't ask question. My principal, here's the paperwork, Walamina. Here's the contract. Here's the sample. Read it. Then I read. I don't ask question. I digest it. But you guys, I've given you food in your blood, excuse my language. In front of you, you don't even comprehend. Like this bloody Indian. He's been talking to me for bloody 2 years. If I mention his name, believe me, he's gonna embarrass. And I told him, what part of our conversation you don't understand? And I told this bloody Indian, if you don't pay attention, I will block you, I will remove you, because I'm sick and tired. He's been floating around and floating around and floating around, telling me bank guarantee, telling me BGs. I told him, Africa doesn't deal bank guarantee. Africa doesn't deal refinery guarantee. The refinery will guarantee to receive it, but you as the buyer, you have to pay for it first because the seller is a minor. He has overhead. He has worker to feed. When I was in Africa, my seller ordered 200 bags of rice, buy sardines, food, and you guys, bloody hell, excuse my language. You ask for C.I.F. You ask for bring good to Dubai. No, we don't. There was an American guy. He's been on my video. He went to Uganda, and I advised him do not travel because he has only $40,000. He was offered 30, I think 36. He arrived in Uganda. He failed. He said, Madam, I'm in Uganda. I'm happy, Madam. I said to him, good luck. What happened? 10 kilos didn't arrive in Dubai. And he said to me, I've been scammed. I said, no, you are one of the scammer. The seller tricked you. But he only gave the seller $10,000. On 36,000 times 10, 360. He doesn't have 360. I told this American buyer, he's a medical doctor, you have only $10,000. Do you think the seller will give his 360 to a stranger? And you know what he said to me? Oh, because I have the buyer. I said, no, you will not pass the criteria if you come to Wilhelmina. Now he is in Dubai right now. And he was talking to a seller from Sierra Leone. And he was excited. Madam, I'm going to Sierra Leone. Good luck. Then after that, he said, Madam, I've been disappointed. I said, I told you that. You don't have the money. Save money. Even 5 kilos. I will help you to secure 5 kilos. But I do charge my travel cost. You know how much I'm going to charge you guys to travel with you? $10,000 to cover my effort from Brisbane to Conakry, Guinea, from Brisbane to Mali, from Brisbane to Sierra Leone. And if you cannot afford to pay my trip, what the point? You don't have the money. You cannot afford to pay the products. My buyer from Malaysia and my buyer from Europe, he paid my trip, he got the products. Because he's a real buyer. And those buyers asking C.I.F, my gosh, better find another job in your country. This is not for you. If you're asking for C.I.F, this is not for you. This is cash business. Gold is cash. Ricardo, there is gold in the Philippines. I've been to Manila, Yamashita gold. You cannot take the gold Yamashita out of the country because you don't have a license to buy. You can only buy Yamashita gold, heritage gold, if you have a license to purchase. And then you have to refine that because 74.5 kilos in one bar. I saw it with my two bloody eyes. And I said to the seller, very hard to convince the foreigner because foreigners are also clever. I told this owner of the gold, my schoolmate become rich. He found the gold in his property. During Cory and Ramos, there was an agreement between Japan and the Philippines. Japan can lend the Philippine government interest-free, but they have to find their asset. Second World War, they buried that in Mindanao. My schoolmate become rich, plenty of gold. It's better to buy gold in Africa. Why? The seller has mining license. The seller has an export license. Philippines, the buyer, the owner of the gold has no license. So it's very difficult unless they have to refine it, then sell it within the country. That was my advice to the owner of the gold because very hard to take out. You know, Philippines, corruption is very rampant, especially today, the current administration, corruption is left and right. So that's the reason why I advise foreigner, don't touch it. Don't. Because I don't like you guys will burn out. So come with Wilhelmina. I can assure you, I can guarantee you with my services. But if I am not around, I'm sorry guys, I wouldn't be able to help you. I wouldn't. So start now, book your trip because January and February, I have 4 buyers wanting to travel with me. And just a moment, he can send your invitation to Italy and he will pay. No, Ricardo, what's the point to come to Italy and I don't own the diamond, right? We invite him to come to the office to inspect. He doesn't need to bring money. Yeah, he doesn't bring the money. He has to build his trust if he wants long-term supply. I only travel with the buyer to be with the buyer on the ground. Why should I go to the Italy? Why should I? You never know, I might be kidnapped. You never know. I don't trust any buyer at all. I don't. Buyer can change their mind. I don't. I only travel when the buyer sign a contract. I only travel when the buyer identify himself. Send a formal letter, introduce whether he's a buyer or not. Without that, I wouldn't believe it. No, I wouldn't. I know the tricks of the buyer. I know the tricks. This is a very dangerous business if you are not very careful. Very dangerous. One of my seller's friend who has been kidnapped in Russia. One of my seller's friend was poisoned in Dubai. So I don't trust anybody at all. That is why I have to screen the buyer. Yes, I have to ask the buyer business license, importation license, very thorough before we issue the landing visa. I don't trust anybody at all. Believe me, Ricardo. So I think I already explained it to you. Thank you that you asked me a lot of questions. I've given you the answer. Going back to gold, click on the gold trade worldwide. Everything is well explained. Everything, I put everything online. It's up to you guys to read and don't ask many questions. You read it first. You listen to the video. digest it properly, and still you confused, you come back. Then I can help you. But if not, I'm sorry, guys. I don't have time to waste my time. Time is money. I am not here to babysit everyone. I am here to sell. That is why I explain it. You're a winner, guys, if you listen to this video. If you don't listen, well, so be it. Next. Because I'm sorry, I don't even entertain. I have been rejected hundreds and hundreds of fake buyers. I rejected hundreds. Very simple. I already explained it. Very, very simple. Thank you very much, guys. And as I've said to you, I'm not supposed to come online, but because I have 5 buyers desperate, they are on the ground, I turn it down. Because we only entertain buyer with invitation, contract, letter of intent, business license, importation license, proof of fund, bank statement. Remove the account. No one will steal your money. We just want to convince that you have the money to pay the products. Going back to diamond, the buyer needs a Kimberley certificate that the diamond is free of blood diamond. Without that, the diamond cannot leave the country of origin. Without that. So why should I come to Italy? What a waste of my time. So thank you very much, Ricardo. I think I answer your question. Thank you very much and have a pleasant good morning. Happy New Year in advance. Enjoy your family bonding in Victoria. And I hope you enjoy. And let's catch up. All right. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good morning.